Welcome to Americana. I'm Willie Montague.
And I'm Shakea Hinton.
If you're looking for safe, watered down commentary, you already know what it is. It is not here. This is the wrong place. We challenge narrative, expose the noise, and talk about actually what matters. So buckle up. It's time to cut through all of the chaos, because there is a lot of chaos out there. This is Americana. Coming up on today's episode, we're talking about the Jasmine Crockett circus, and it is a circus. Donald Trump is replacing MLK Day as Free National Parks Day, and then the FBI purge. Agents are being fired for kneeling. We are getting into politics over public safety, and to bring it on home, Admiral Alvin Holsey and his resignation under Secretary, my uncle, Pete Hegseth.
Ooh, Uncle Pete.
Let's dive right into it. There's a circus, and it is not for children. Texas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett is prepared to announce a run for U.S. Senate, but critics say she brings more viral meltdowns, social media theatrics, and headline-grabbing outbursts than serious policies. Is America's second largest state about to get a campaign built or nothing but foolishness? I don't like her.
Is that a rhetorical question, or are you actually asking me that of all people?
Well, I mean, you guys, you
at home, the viewers at home.
This is horrible.
Her running for a Senate seat is horrible. Well, first, I want to say, before we move forward, you likened her campaign to a circus. If you're going to liken it to a circus, at least liken it to a Black-owned circus, which is Universal, the big top. Okay. That, you know, highlights Black performers and all the things of Black excellence. But I am really happy that she is deciding to move from United States representative to the Senate.
I don't think that this is the right move for her, moving to U.S. Senate after you showed a mockery throughout being a U.S. Congresswoman. I just don't see how that's going to be.
A mockery.
A mockery. This is what it is. I have not seen one viable policy that she has come up with other than her always feeling, and this is your word, was it fantasizing or having a, what does he say? Having a fantasy of Trump. That's what she said. Everything is always either bad Republicans, bad Trump, and, you know, I'm Black.
Well, she is. She is a Black woman who happens to also be a soror of mine. Ooh, pale, you know, HBCU grad, all the things. So let me just say, she's right. A lot of things about this administration is anti-Black, and it is horrible. The American people are feeling it, and they are actually seeing it in the polls. As far as her tenure as a legislator, she came on the scene. She started her tenure, I want to say, as a state house representative for the state of Texas. She was there for 2 years. She moved into Congress. She's been in Congress for about 3 years, roughly. Now she's on track to become the next senator of Texas. The people of Texas actually voted her to move policy, which you failed to mention, for affordable housing, solutions for security, which is like food banks, student loan security, those types of things, government accountability, and just affordability for the folks that voted her into office. Is that a problem? Is that a crime?
It's not a crime. It's just her delivery of things. Like, when you have an individual like that, this is what, but it doesn't matter how President Trump is acting, because I know that's kind of how everybody wants. It
is.
It doesn't. What it matters the most is how you respond. And if you want to show forth this couth of HBCUism, and you want to show forth this couth of you being someone that is able to deliver policy, you're able to be educated. As she mentioned somewhere, she has several law degrees. Isn't that what she said?
She does.
So if this is what you are articulating, you need to show up that way, other than the ghetto buffoonism that we
No.
see.
I don't think it's ghetto. I think you, along with mainstream media, always liken the black woman who shows up authentically as herself as someone who is being extremely catty, who's being aggressive, and you are adding to that narrative, and I'm extremely disappointed. Not surprised, just disappointed.
How am I adding to the narrative?
You are
Because she's
reiterating. You are saying that she's ghetto because she's showing up authentically herself. What about her is ghetto?
That is not authentically herself.
Tell me, what is ghetto about Congresswoman Jasmine
the way
Crockett?
that she delivers her messages.
Okay, I'm going to stop. We're going to go tick for tack.
Okay.
You say the way that she delivers her messages, yet we have a sitting president who continues to downgrade reporters and those who oppose him. Next.
As I said earlier, it is not about what President Trump does, it's how you respond. If you are this sophisticated black woman in the United States of America, then show us that. Don't show us.
And she has, and she will, and I am continuously rooting for her. As far as the senator who we have in Texas, Ted Cruz, Ted has been in office for 12 years, yet he has done nothing majorly for the people who voted him into office. And I say that, Will, with facts. Currently, polls are saying that 30% of people who voted for him into office are extremely discouraged about what he is doing currently. If you remember, he tends to run away. He takes his family on vacations. When
but
Texas
they always
is hit
do
with,
this during election cycle.
No. That wasn't done during an election cycle.
But I'm saying that I'm talking about always coming out with negative things to say about whatever candidate.
That wasn't negative. That is a true fact. Ted Cruz, who is currently the sitting senator for part of Texas.
It may be true, but what I'm saying is always something.
It's always a but.
That is negative.
It is always a but.
But like
you said, and that can go for you too, for how you feel about Jasmine. You calling her ghetto and unprofessional
like you
is
said
seen as
about Kamala.
It's negative. Kamala.
She will also not win. So President Trump.
She's not in office.
President Trump has removed MLK Day and Juneteenth from the Free National Parks Day and has replaced it with his birthday.
Ooh.
Critics say this is another blatant action that shows his targeted racism towards the people of color, although somehow people seem to not mention that he works directly with the King family.
In what way does he work with the King family?
Everywhere he predominantly goes and speaks when it has to deal with the people of color, he brings Dr. Alveda King, who is the niece of Dr. Martin Luther King.
But what has his daughter said about
Well, we know that she's leftist. I'm not concerned about her.
No. If you're going to talk about the entire family, what is she bringing to the table? What is this niece bringing to the table that actually adds to Trump's narrative of MLK?
She's always lifting up her uncle. If you go look at any speeches with Dr. Alveda King, it's always pushing the message of Dr. Martin Luther King, always.
So why not use his daughter instead of his niece?
Because his daughter does not like Trump. You can lead a horse to water, you can't make him drink. If you don't like somebody, well, I'm going to invite you. You don't like me, I'm not inviting you.
And in that same vein, Mr. Montague.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Montague. Trump actually enacted, it was under his presidency where Juneteenth, not that it became a federal national recognized holiday. That was under Biden. Hey, Biden. But it was under Trump's administration where both MLK Day and Juneteenth was recognized as a free admission into national parks. Now he's removed that and replaced it with like the Constitution, Flag Day, Patriotic Day, and some other foolishness. Oh, his birthday. So why now is he removing those two federal holidays that mostly black people celebrate?
Let me just ask this question to you, to those out there. Do we honestly have to have holidays to recognize the things that people have contributed to our country?
We don't have to, and I can ask you the same thing about Charlie Kirk. Why are we trying to push someone who was a podcaster to have a national recognized holiday and streets named after him?
Let this go on record. I have not pushed that. I have actually said the opposite of that because I do not agree with that myself.
And I'm not just directing that at you.
Right,
I am directing it to those your party.
But there are many in the Republican Party who do not agree with that because they believe it has gone too far and that we recognize them. He brought a contribution. We recognize on the funeral, but it's sometimes time that, you know, we need to move forward and get back to working as we like to do as Republicans.
Which is what, divisive?
Work. We
to be more divisive?
We do things. We don't just go out there
So
and
why do
pay
you
for
think,
votes.
tell me this, no one's paying for votes, but I would like to pay a penny for your thoughts, okay? Why do you think Trump decided to remove those two holidays out of any other holidays that we have currently on our calendar?
I don't know what Trump's trying to do, but I guarantee you that it ultimately is not going to be what the main or lamestream media is trying to paint.
Which is what?
Trying to make it look like he's some racist or some bigot that he's trying to remove.
But will these two
celebrated.
holidays actually impact you and I?
I know, and I said I do not really believe that it is as it is being painted. We're going to see when it gets close to that time, because Martin Luther King Day is next year, Juneteenth is next year. So let's see.
The ending of TPS for Haitian Americans is also in February, which is Black History Month.
Okay, well, that's a whole nother subject.
It is.
With that. But Black History Month is Black History Month for Black Americans. We have to take a quick commercial break, but don't move. We'll be back discussing all things right here on Americana. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back. You're going down,
Child.
baby. The whole world's up,
Child.
side down. There's a purge that has come to the FBI. Agents are fired because they are trying to kneel and make a political statement over doing their job. This is why we got problems. 12 FBI agents, this was back in 2020, but it's caught up to them. They were fired not for poor work, but for kneeling during 2020 protests. They insist it was a tactical de-escalation, not a political statement. Now they're suing to get their jobs back, arguing the purge under Patel is blatant retaliation. This is a good thing. I'm glad that Patel is doing what he needs to do. They were kneeling, if you go and research, they were kneeling in regards to George Floyd, who should not have had anybody's knee on the ground. So anyway,
You're saying that he shouldn't have died? What do you
I'm
you
saying
need to explain
that
that
no
before we move
one
forward.
should have been kneeling on behalf of George Floyd.
So you're justifying his death?
No, I said who would kneel? I would not go kneel out there for George Floyd.
Okay.
George Floyd has not contributed anything to me.
Okay.
So why would I be needing to kneel?
Let's go ahead and move
I
on, Willie.
kneel for but only one man.
Let's go ahead and move on, Willie.
So I'm just saying it's truth, because that's what it is. And I look at this as an interesting topic because we don't talk about enough. Like, the FBI is there to do a job. These 12 individuals who probably thought it wasn't going to catch up to them because they had Biden and probably thought Biden was somehow going to be hanging on by a life thread to be able to make it for another 4 years. And he could not, of course, he couldn't make it past the first year. And then here you are.
The man is still alive.
He,
Don't even say
Barely.
barely, because we have Trump. Who
Trump
literally
is healthy.
who
Please.
is full of tanning
He is
spray and
healthy.
pumped up with full of drugs.
He is
But
healthy.
Let's stay on topic.
Since you want to go there, did we not just see
We can stay on topic.
Biden's speech where he couldn't even say the United States of America.
Biden is actually no longer president. We are talking about the man who was currently running this country.
Well, he wasn't president when he was.
We are talking about the man who's running this country.
Yes, a great man, someone who's making America great again. And here we are with Kash Patel, who is the FBI director, who's put his foot down to say that this can be no longer making political statements. And I think what he's doing is right. If you are working for the federal government, you need to do your job. You're not out here to post up to make any kind of Instagram.
Well, it's odd. I hear you, but it's oddly strange that when this happened in 2020, that an internal investigation took place regarding these 12 people, who now is up to, I think, like 20 FBI agents who were removed from their jobs. The internal investigation said that they were actually found to not have broken any FBI laws and policy. Seriously.
This is what year? What year?
This is when it happened in 2020, 2021. Whether it was President Biden who was in office or whomever was in office, the internal investigation of the FBI, who they actually reported to, said that there was nothing wrong with what they did. Now, in my eyes, if you are in law enforcement and you are trying to de-escalate a situation that is already heightened, why would you go in with full force that would incite more anger and violence? Why not bend a knee, not necessarily trying to copy and in protest, but as a sign of surrender and saying, we are here to protect you, not to incite more violence and anger. If you remember...
We're not no weak knee.
No. That is not weak.
This is the FBI. We're not here to hand out popcorn and candy.
No, I'm not asking you to hand out popcorn and candies, but I am asking you to come into a community with dignity and respect.
I'm sorry.
If you want to de-escalate an issue, why would you come in with full force to incite more anger and chaos?
Let me just put it like this. The anger and the chaos was mainly from whom?
Those who were protesting.
And who were mainly those who were protesting?
Because you can have a peaceful protest, right? It sometimes get incited into anger and chaos because you have, and I'm gonna troll you for a little bit. Mm-hmm. You have some people on the MAGA side who were planted in those protests. Who were planted in those protests.
When I said that about
I just wanted to troll you. I just wanted to troll. But in all seriousness, I don't think there was anything wrong with them bending a knee. Now, 2016, when Colin Kaepernick bended a knee, yes, that was a sign of solidarity with all of the issues that were happening in the streets, protesting. I think the 12 FBI agents who were caught kneeling on camera and with footage, I think that was a sign of them showing those who were at this protest, like, hey, we are trying to come in peace. We want to do our jobs, and we want to hear you, not necessarily incite you to further anger.
But Shakea, this is the FBI kneeling to just everyday civilians. Does that not sound backwards to you?
No, it doesn't, because it also aligns with how policing should be done in community.
And with that type of thought, that is exactly why we have the ghettos that we have today, because no one takes authority to go into these communities and really enact force that is needed to clean it up. We have so many ghettos in this country that is derived by the same individuals who don't want to be cleaned up. We don't have nobody that goes in there, even our own people of color do not want to go in there to do what is necessary to reshape our communities.
That is not true.
It is.
That is not true.
All you have is
people of color do not want to live in poverty. And in fact, it's not just people of color, it's white folks who are just as poor as black folks. These trailer parks, the rural areas, the dumb, the uneducated, the poor, that is who Trump loves. That is actually who voted him into office. And yet they are still ignorant, and they are blind, and they are loyal to blind. They are blind. They are blind.
They're not blind. What it is individuals know truth and righteousness. And one thing that I can tell you,
righteousness
that happens.
You're equating righteousness to whom?
I'm telling you, the moral ethics of the movement that is happening right now in the United States is one that is righteous, and people.
So purging is righteous.
Purge it. Purging is righteous, actually. If you look.
We're not talking about the biblical principles.
Well, yeah,
I follow you, man of God. I follow you, man of God.
But that is purging is. I mean.
But purging the FBI And I think that's probably a good segue.
Okay, well, yes, it is. Admiral Holsey and his resignation under Secretary Hegseth in October. Admiral Alvin Holsey resigned after refusing to carry out the boat strikes in the Caribbean.
Yes, he did.
So, you know, this you know what bothers me is there was a time in the military where you it didn't matter what, this is my service, this is what I have to do. Now you have all these people that's saying, oh, I don't like that. So they go, oh, I don't want to, basically what I'm hearing is, I don't want to do my job.
No. What you're hearing is folks are going to break the law. That's what you're hearing. There have been people like the Admiral who has been in this service for nearly 40 years, who has never had to face the choice between doing what is right and doing what is completely forced upon you by someone who is just unhinged and off their medication, right? I'm talking about President Trump, to be clear. Under Pete Hegseth, Uncle Pete, who has no inkling idea about anything involving the defense of Secretary, the military, and anything that goes under that purview. And so 15 minutes after they had this discussion, the Admiral actually submitted his resignation. He wasn't forced. He took it upon himself to say, you know what, I am a man of integrity, I am a man of my word, and I would rather resign on top than to be persecuted for when all of this comes down the pipeline and all these people are going to be held accountable and going to prison.
They're not going to prison.
They're going to go to prison.
They're not. I can tell you right now that what it is, our country is finally getting the resolve it needs after being tormented for 4 whole years with someone who did absolutely nothing.
So if the courts find that Pete Hegseth actually unlawfully instructed these people to do a second strike and he has to serve prison time, do you not see this as a ripple effect for America? Do you not see this as like we are losing the credibility of being moral and just?
You know what I foresee happening is, I don't foresee him going to prison, but I do foresee should the left end up in the White House, them trying to use similar tactics to enact what they want to do to destroy Black and brown communities because they are the true racists.
You are trolling today, and I'm going to let you have that. I'm going to let you bury yourself in your own grave on that because there's no possible way that you would think that that would happen with the left.
I absolutely do think that they would do that. They have, this is what people don't realize, somehow they have hoodwinked individuals to believe that they are the party of common sense, and they're not.
Now, I'm not saying my party is perfect. There are issues within my party that we need to tighten up, that we need to tighten up before the midterm elections. However, morally, inclusively, and objectively are the 3 areas that I think the Democrats hold over the Republican Party. The Republican Party are extremely selfish. The Republican Party builds up the wealthy and putting profit over people, and people are feeling it in everyday life.
Well, if our founding fathers,
folks are tired.
If our founding fathers weren't selfish, we wouldn't have America today. So, well, and that's a wrap for today on Americana. I'm Willie.
Who didn't like you? I'm Shakea Hinton. Happy Monday.
Thank you for choosing Real Conversations over Manufactured Narratives. Join us tomorrow right here on AFRO TV. Same time, same place. Until then, stay alert, stay fearless, and never back down from the truth. Have an awesome night.
Happy Monday.